today. From NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. It's Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, so happy to be with you to kick off this much-anticipated 2021 season. With me in the booth as we begin our sixth season together is, of course, Charles Davis. And, CD, so much to watch for coming up. What are you keeping an eye on?
Well, Brandon, I'm ecstatic to be back with you, of course, and we've got a good one right here out of the gates. I'm interested in seeing some of the changes in 2021. Running backs and wideouts, even linebackers wearing single-digit numbers. But even more than that, I want to see the changes defenses have made because last year, we averaged 49.6 points per game. That's the highest ever by 3 full points. Can these defenses make an adjustment and start to catch up?
Yeah, passer rating, CD, an all-time high. Completion percentage, also an all-time high. So as you said, will those numbers continue to climb northward, or will the defenses adjust? On first down, it's Watson. And it's caught here, Amendola. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A first down there on a pickup of 25. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice complete.
And a loose football. And the Jags grab it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. For the first time, the Jacksonville Jaguars set to go here on offense, led out by the new face of the franchise, the #1 overall pick, of course, from this year's draft. It's Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson.
For so long, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been seeking their franchise quarterback, and they believe they've got their guy now. How about this? 38-2 in his collegiate career, won a national championship his freshman season, and the only losses he ever suffered during the college football playoffs. Had to have a little bit of surgery in the offseason, but this is a guy that's locked in on football, has everything you're looking for in a quarterback.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Now a give here to Pollard, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Well, there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
2nd and 12, operating from the 39. They go play action now. Lawrence. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Lawrence to Shark, first down, Jacksonville. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, had his team run the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clock.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. From 8 yards out, and the Jaguars are on the board here first in the season opener. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And it's now a 7-0 game. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, they pushed it past the 50-yard line, so it looked like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Charles, a look there at the Jaguars draft class for 2021. And no question, this will all be judged by how Trevor Lawrence performs. But Urban Meyer and crew, they were also able to pick up some potential building blocks later on.
And that's part of the grand plan, because when you draft Trevor Lawrence, you have to surround him with talent. How about picking up Travis Etienne at number 25 in the first round, the second running back taken, and the pick from the Jalen Ramsey trade. And then in some serendipity, in the second round, they got a corner, Tyson Campbell, who they hope can replace Jalen Ramsey, as well as a big offensive tackle in Stanford's Walker Little.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Watson to give. This is Johnson. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Now it's Watson. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
From the red zone now, Watson. Screenplay, Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. So still 14 yards to go, second down. A shotgun snap for Watson. He dumps it underneath here to Lindsey. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. Fourth down.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they get their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a fourth down. Well played.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, Martin, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are nowhere to go here? He lost the football. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Here's Smith to return it. That'll go as a 42-yard punt. They'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston set to take over. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And Watson has enough for the first down yardage as he slides to the turf. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On first down, Watson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. Going up top for Miller. And got his man complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain there of 30 big ones.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple, down to the 15-yard line.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. He will push his way down to about the 14. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. Watson. That's complete to the tight end, Akins. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On 2nd down now, Pollard. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down. Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. Run for Pollard. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 57 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Lawrence, he's going to take a shot for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like what they did there, because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used the slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. 5 yards remain on 2nd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Watson. He gets him to Combs. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And this will be swung out for Lindsey. That catch good for only a couple. So, CD, big changes for 2021. Of course, last year we had the expansion from 6 to 7 teams in each conference making the playoffs. This year, the headline, the addition of a 17th regular season game. What did you think when you heard the news that this was happening?
Well, my first thought, partner, was finally, because we've heard about a 17th game coming for a long time, and now here it is. So the beautiful part about all of it is that 17th game is going to be like these interdivision, interconference type games that are going to match up and play out over a 4-year period. And that's kind of cool. And I was looking forward to seeing some of the matchups that are going to come out of that for that 17th game. And could that be the game that decides a bunch of division titles?
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome back.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Lawrence. Shark's got it, left side. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Lawrence now off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down. Another completion there. You know, we think about the draft back in the spring. He was selected, obviously, the #1 overall pick. There's great money with that, but, Charles, I would think maybe an extra burden, too, or is that not that big of a deal at all?
It actually is in the beginning of his career an added burden, but it's one of those things that if you play well, it becomes something that justifies why you were taken #1. You're fine with that. If you don't play well, it can be an albatross.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now Lawrence. Into the hands of Bird over the middle. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Now Pollard. And he's got room. And down inside the 15 he goes. 73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's taken down at the 7th after a gain of 7. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Ready to break.
They go play action with Lawrence. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Jacob Hollister, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. Pollard. And they'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Jags take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Watson on 3rd down. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he is going to have the Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Pass complete from Watson to Akins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's a give to Lindsey running right. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll go again with Lindsey. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And his kick here is good. And his second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 87 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On third down, it's Pollard, and he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. A nice throw there. We've seen a lot of those from this young man. How would you assess, Charles, his first start thus far?
I think it's been everything that they could have asked for because he's handled all the basic things quite well. And even some of the wrinkles that have been thrown at him, he's shown a lot of poise throughout and made some nice plays. They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now Lawrence to throw. His throw incomplete. DJ Chark the intended target, and it's third down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's Lawrence to throw. That'll be caught downfield by Bird. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because
plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it.
Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one. As that now will wind up an incomplete pass. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. To throw is Watson. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Devon Hamilton. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Another try after the first down sack. Watson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down. 101 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Lawrence will throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
One of the great coaches said football's a really simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
On play action, Lawrence. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. They'll run for it with Pollard. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run with Pollard. Pollard now a 1st down and more, and down to the 16-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Dancing to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
Lawrence. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he's going to come up well shy of the 1st here as the tackle's made right around the 12. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. The kick by Lambeau is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Well, pass complete, this one to Danny Amendola. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. Watson on 1st down. And that's complete to Cooks. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. Back to throw, Watson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down. 2nd and 10. Watson now to throw. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Josh Allen. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. A shotgun snap for Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. Oh, what a grab. That's Cooks. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make
touchdown. It's caught at the 1. Danny Amendola from 8 yards out. And the Texans are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under 1 minute to go now in the football game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Back to throw. Lawrence escaping the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. What a difference a year makes so far, at least. These guys last place in their division a year ago. Looking like they're going to move to 1-0 right now.
Not really unusual in the NFL, though, is it? Because we always talk about every year, 8-8 is kind of the baseline for everyone, plus or minus. And we've seen many teams go from worst to first. I know it's 1 week, but still, they're starting to think to themselves, we've got a chance this season.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Complete to Akins. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Watson. He's got Johnson, and he will get to the sideline here, but that, a minimal gain at best. 3 yards, possibly 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Jags, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Houston, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire